All right, so before we get started, we're going to face the east. We're going to say, Call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching the world this truth. And honors to all the brothers that's pushing this truth to our people, risking their life and freedom to do so. And Shalom to all the believers in Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, who are the hopeful elect that's returning to him, that he may have mercy on them in the time of judgment. So a little update on my YouTube channels. My main page again is on strike. I was on a 1 week strike. Then 3 days later they put me on a 2 week strike. But I got two backup channels behind that where I'm uploading all my previous content now, and then I upload all my newest content. And again, you can find those at Fear Yahweh, Heart of David 144. Through the power of the Holy Spirit, I'm back out here another day to bring out this truth to our people and bring forth the Lord's judgments as foretold in the scriptures. But yesterday, my laptop died on me in the middle of recording, so I'm going to sort of pick up where I left off there, and then we're going to take a different direction. And my bad, I'm moving a lot. I'm in a funny spot. They got stuff around me, so I'm trying to find a balance. So yesterday we left off at Revelation 18. So I'm going to start there somewhere. All right, so yesterday we were saying that, us, the men of the Lord, the prophets, when we bring this word to our people, we bringing it to them so that they come out their wickedness, so they don't die in their wickedness, and ultimately die with America. And those who are righteous, they got to stay in this truth. They can't turn back to the wickedness. And the wickedness will be the ways of the world. Like we was explaining yesterday, how Adam and Eve eating of the tree that the Lord told them not to eat from, that's the equivalent of them not keeping the laws and commandments of Yahweh and going after the wickedness that's in the world. And them eating of the good fruit that the trees that the Lord told them to eat from, that would be the equivalent to keeping the laws and commandments of the Most High. So, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, he not a forgive and forget kind of God, contrary to what the Christian church taught you. But now we're gonna start off at Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice come from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." Salakia. Let me get the King James version on my phone. I gotta get a new Bible. All right, Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Well, that's the Lord saying, come out of her. Who is this her? This her is America. It's Lady Liberty. And we know that this her is Lady Liberty, which is America, because America is the only country that portrays itself to be a woman out of all the other countries in the world. And it says, come out of her so we don't be partakers of her sins. Telling us we got to come out of this place, because as long as we stay in America spiritually and mentally, we're going to continue in her sins. We're going to keep going after her ways. And really the ways of America ultimately goes back to the Edomites, the white man. This is the American life, is the way of life for the white man. Doing whatever you want, eating whatever you want. And America is set up on wickedness. But also it says that you receive not of her plagues. So if we partake of her sins, we're going to receive of her plagues. We're going to receive of her judgments. And if we come out of her, we won't receive of her plagues. So staying in America, following after wickedness, translates to eating of the fruit that the Lord told us not to eat from. And coming out of America, that translates to us eating of the good fruit that the Lord told us to eat. So America would be that bad fruit, and the Bible would be the good fruit. And let's see. And when you think about it, you gotta think of the Most High like the ultimate parent. So if you got kids and they playing in the park with some other kids, and you see they doing some BS, you gonna tell your kids, hey, don't be messing with them. Come out of that, so you don't break the law like they breaking the law, and then you don't get punished how they get punished. That's what the Lord telling us, because we His children, and us as His children, He see us mingling with the other children in the earth that don't belong to Him, and He's gonna punish them, and He don't want to punish us while He's punishing them. So He's giving us a warning to come out of that. Because remember yesterday in Ezekiel, I'm gonna go there. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, so remember Ezekiel 3 and 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So we are watchmen for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. So the Lord telling us to come out of her, that we be not partakers of her sin and receive not of her plagues. That's warning from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why here it says, hear the word of my mouth, which will be the scriptures, and give them warning from me. Because Revelation 18 and 4, that's a warning to come out of this place, America, because it's out of here. And we, the men of the Lord, like Ezekiel, we're supposed to give y'all the warning. I'm going to jump back to Revelation. Revelation 18 to 5. For her sins reach unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Whose sins? The sins of America. This her is Lady Liberty. It's no coincidence that America is the only country in the world that portrays itself to be a woman. That's why all the men here are so soft. And like we said before, the Most High is not a forgive and forget kind of God, contrary to what the church told you. So that's why He says her sins have reached into heaven. And ultimately, the sins of America is the sin of the Edomites, the so-called white people. So the sins of the Edomites reach unto heaven. So that's telling you the Most High been watching them since the beginning of the time. Starting with Cain, when he killed his brother Abel. With Esau, he sold his birthright, wanted to kill his brother Jacob. Esau had the spirit of Cain. Esau is the father of the white race, so all the white people had the spirit of Cain. And he been watching these Edomites kill us since the book of Genesis. He watched the Romans crucify Yahweh Shai and destroy Jerusalem. He seen later on Christopher Columbus and his white Edomite counterparts. They came to America, destroyed the Native Americans, dang near killed them all off, took us into slavery, torture, rape, robbed, murdered, and killed us, killed everybody else up on the planet. So the Lord been watching us since the beginning of time. But that's why He says her sins have reached unto heaven. And Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Because Yahweh didn't forget. And usually when you forget something, you put it behind you. But when you remember something, it's the first thing on your mind. What up, bro? You got a quick minute? You got a quick minute? All right, take care, bro. All right, so we're going to read Revelation 4 again. We're going to continue to verse 5, because I spent a little minute here. And I heard a voice come from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Come out of Lady Liberty, that ye be not partakers of her sins. So we don't continue in the ways of America, and ye receive not of her plagues. So we don't be punished along with America when she is punished. For her sins have reached into heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. So ultimately, remember the sins of America is remember the sins of the white man who built America as it is now. Revelation 8 and 6. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So it says, and double unto her double according to her works. What is the works? What's the main thing that America has done to us as a people and to everybody else all over the world? America has brought massive death and destruction. So when it says double unto her double according to her works, that means give America, Lady Liberty, give her double death and double destruction. Now we're going to jump to Jeremiah 17 and 18. To see what Jeremiah prayed for. So I'm going to read Revelation 8 and 6 again, and then we're going to jump to Jeremiah. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So give her double death, double destruction. But let's see what Jeremiah prayed for. Let them be confounded that persecute me. And who persecuted us? All nations persecuted us, but it all comes from the so-called white man. The white man is our chief persecutor, and he put everybody else in position to persecute us just like he has. So ultimately, all our persecutions go back to Esau, the Edomites. But let me be not confounded. Now let's look up this word confounded real quick. I know what it means, but I can't give an exact definition. I know it means to be all right, to cause surprise or confusion. So let them be confused that persecute us, but let us not be confused. Let us not be surprised. Surprised at what? We're gonna see. So we're gonna start over. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let me be not confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring on them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. So Jeremiah prayed for those that persecute him to be confounded and be dismayed and to be destroyed with double destruction. So the main people who persecuted us, they're going to be confounded. They're confounded when they see us out here bringing this truth in great boldness, and they're dismayed when they see us coming back together as a people, not having the evil eye towards each other, and bringing him up on all his offenses that the white man has done since the beginning of time. They be dismayed at that because they think we don't know. But ultimately, it says, bring on them the day of evil. What's the day of evil? That's the day of the Lord's wrath. That's the day he returns. And everybody think when he comes, it's going to be peace. It's going to be a great day here on the earth. Nah, the return of the Lord is the day of evil. And it's funny how the Lord got to play on words, because he's full of truth, justice, and righteousness, but him bringing his righteousness is the day of evil. And that just show you how cold the Lord is. So bring on them the day of evil, the day of judgment, and destroy them with double destruction. So those who persecuted us, ultimately going back to the Edomites, the so-called white people, they're going to be destroyed with double destruction. That's going to be that thermonuclear destruction and that destruction from the chariot fire. So back to Revelation 18:6, double unto her, double according to her works. Because ultimately, America has brought destruction to us and to the world. So she's going to receive double destruction. Revelation 18:7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that's the pride of these Americans. Now we're going to spend about 7 minutes breaking this one verse down. So when it says how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. So that's pretty much the Lord saying for how good and blessed that these white Edomites live, that these Americans live, give them just as much pain and suffering. So for all the goodness and all the good things in life they had, give them just as much pain and suffering. And that's the deep scripture. Because these Americans, they lived, they lived their best lives here in the world during these last for the past few hundred years. They lived the best lives here on the planet. So for them living the best lives, they're gonna live out the worst death. The best life equals the worst death when it comes to judgment. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's her pride. Because America, which is Lady Liberty, just her, she's never lost the war. That's why it says I sit as a queen. Because when you think about it, it's like if you're playing chess, she the last piece on the chessboard. She done defeated everybody. She the most powerful piece on the chessboard, and she just move all around the chessboard freely, doing whatever she wants to do. But that's what it means when it says I sit a queen. She's sitting on top of the world. It says and am no widow, because when you consider a widow, it's a wife that lost her husband. She lost that male figure in her life that was her protector. And who is the husband to Lady Liberty? It would be her military, because that military is that male figure to Lady Liberty that plays the role of a protector. So Lady Liberty has never suffered a major loss of the men in her military, meaning she never took a devastating blow where she had to like rebuild her military or rebuild the army. And that's because she's never lost the war. But when it says so much torment and sorrow give her, that means in this next war, World War III, that America is going to lose all her men. She's going to be a widow. She's going to be without that male protective figure. And it says, and she'll see no sorrow, because when you suffer massive death, there's great sorrow in the land. Everybody weep in the morning for the loss of their loved one. And America has never had that. We may lose a few soldiers at a time, but we never lost thousands of soldiers at a time. But in this next war, America is going to lose 100% of her military. So she's going to see sorrow. So it says, I sit as a queen. She won't be a queen no more when she gets destroyed. And I'm no widow. She's going to be a widow. She's going to lose all the men in her military. And she'll see no sorrow. She's going to see great sorrow, the greatest sorrow. Revelation 18:8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. So it says her plagues are going to come in one day. That's death, famine, and mourning. And that last plague to top it off is she shall be utterly burned with fire. So that's the last plague to top it off. Let me stand this up so people know what I'm out here about. They kind of got an idea. So, and when we consider these plagues, death, famine, and mourning, America has never suffered a deadly blow where a chunk of the population is wiped out. Like how America did Japan when they dropped those 2 nuclear bombs on it. And when we consider mourning, we never had a day where America was in a state of mourning all throughout America. And when we consider famine, there's never really been a hard famine here in America. Even when there's been a famine throughout the world, America has stayed afloat through that famine. So she's going to see all 3 of those things suddenly. That's why it says her plague shall come in one day. It's going to come out of nowhere. We're not going to even see the build up to it, because the build up to death, mourning, and famine is happening now, but Americans is just too blind to see it. It says she will be utterly burned with fire. That's the ultimate plague. Now this kills the idea of the Christian church that the ground gonna open up and people gonna be through underground into the lake of fire. It also kills the idea that an asteroid is gonna come destroy the earth and blow up everything. It also kills the idea that the whole world is gonna be caught on fire. Like with America, these Edomites and the Christian church teach you. All that is nonsense. Now, let me see. And the reason I'm saying this is because people associate the end of the world with a great fire, a great burning. They're correct, but what they say that fire is incorrect. The great fire at the end of the world is a certain landmass, a certain country, a few countries being completely obliterated, like Sodom and Gomorrah was. And how they're going to be obliterated, according to the scriptures, it only makes sense that it's going to be in a nuclear war. And then after we read the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, we're going to jump around in a few books showing that the scriptures support a nuclear war. Because we consider a nuclear war, the destruction happens pretty fast. The stuff blow up, you get an explosion, stuff be on fire, stuff is destroyed, but that's it. Because when you talk about the end of the world, people talking about, oh, there's going to be eternal fire, people doing hell forever, the world is going to be burning forever. That ain't the case. That's all foolishness. So I'm going to do Revelation 18:8 over again, then we can continue in verse 9. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahawadah who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication, live deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So hold up. It said the kings of the earth who have committed fornication with her. Remember yesterday we said fornication is when the kings of the earth, when they abandon their culture and follow the ways of America. Or when people come over here to America, they abandon their culture. What's going on with it? I don't know who that is, but he might come holler at me. So that's when these people come to America and they become Americanized. They become westernized, meaning they abandon their culture. It's like if you got a man and then you abandon him and go after another man. That's the equivalent of people abandoning their heritage to come after the ways of America. Because in coming after the ways of America, you usually abandon your God who you grew up serving to follow white Jesus. So us following white Jesus is us committing fornication because we're not following after Yahawadah, who is our Lord and Savior. So the kings of the earth who have committed fornication, they live deliciously with her. And how do these kings live deliciously with her? Because yesterday we read Revelations 18:3. I'm going to read this real quick. I'm going to read the second half. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So America is known for having an abundance of delicacies and luxuries. How you doing, bro? So the people, so America having an abundance of these luxuries and delicacies, a lot of that stuff is imported from overseas. Cars, clothing, jewelry, a lot of that stuff is not made here in America. So all that stuff is sold to America. So a lot of these merchants in these other countries, these salesmen, they get rich through America by America buying up everything. Because the American people, they eat all that stuff up. Because the people in here, they focus is materialistic wealth and money. So if you go back down to Revelation 9, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication, and lived deliciously with her, meaning they got rich off America by selling their goods to this place, they shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So the idea of people being thrown underground into a lake of fire or the whole world being on fire is not supported by the scripture, because it says the kings of the earth, the people, the leaders of these other countries, they're going to bewail and lament for her, which is Lady Liberty, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Meaning they're going to see America being destroyed. And then how they're going to see this is spoken of here pretty soon in this chapter. So this great fire at the end of the world has a target. The target is not everybody on Earth. It's not the entire planet Earth. It's targeting a kingdom. And this kingdom that it's targeting is Great Babylon. And we know America is Great Babylon because America is the only country in the world who calls himself great. That's why they got the term "Make America Great Again." So the fire is targeting America, which is Lady Liberty, which is this her. So, like we say, how the kings are going to see America being burnt is right here. So I'm going to read Revelation 18:9 again to lead into the next verse, so we can be refreshed on what's going on here. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, great America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Now let me grab something out the bag real quick. Salakia. Excuse me, man. You got 2 minutes? I understand that. Let me give you this right here. I got my YouTube information on the card. Salakia, let me see if this is still recording. All right, bet. Now, all right. Forgive me. We gonna start over because I know because I already forgot what point I was making. I had to catch that lady real quick. All right, so the kings of the earth standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So the whole world being on fire, the whole world opening up and people being through underground, that's not supported by the scriptures. Because if we go up to verse 9, it says, The king of the earth shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. I'm going to get with you. So, so the kings of the earth is going to see the smoke of her burning. That's why it says in verse 10, these kings of the earth, when they see her burning, her full of smoke, they're going to stand off in great fear for her torment, because that great city Babylon is going to be tormented. Just that great city Babylon translates to modern day America. So America is going to be tormented with fire, not the whole world. The ground is not going to open up. Only this place and the land of Israel, those are the two places that's going to be completely burnt up, not the whole world. And people say that the earth is going to be on fire forever, or the ground will open up, and people are going to be in hell for all eternity. That's not in the scriptures. Because it's here, it says, that great city Babylon, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So for 1 hour, this place is going to be burning. Because we go back up to verse 9, they shall lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. For in 1 hour, thy judgment is come. So this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. And the only way that this whole land of America can be destroyed in 1 hour is nuclear destruction. If you think about a forest fire could be burning for 7 days. It's not going to destroy the whole land of America. Like California, always on fire for days and weeks at a time, but California is still standing. So it's not a forest fire. So where is this burning coming from? It's not a volcano, because a volcano, it'd be active one day and then it cool off. So it's not a volcano. According to these Edomite scientists, an asteroid would destroy the whole world. So that cancels out the asteroid. So the only thing that could destroy America fast enough in 1 hour, it gotta be nuclear destruction. And once we leave Revelation 18th chapter, we're gonna jump elsewhere in the scriptures and see that it supports a nuclear war. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna holler at these brothers real quick. Y'all got a couple minutes? Y'all got a couple minutes? Y'all in a rush? That's but let me give you my YouTube information. I'm gonna give you my YouTube information.
No, I'm talking about the angels, how they keep it hidden, how they whitewash the Bible and stuff. Yeah, it's modern day Hades. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Check you out. All right, good. Y'all done.
All right, forgive me. A lot of people up here being in a rush, so I'll be trying to catch them, just to pass them a quick 30 seconds or something to plant a seed in their mind, so that they go, hopefully the spirit moving to go research on their own. So we're gonna start Revelation 18 and 9, and we're gonna read through down to verse 11. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, America the Great, that mighty country. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth of their merchandise anymore. So, like we said, these merchants, these salesmen in these foreign countries, they get rich off America because America buy up all the jewelry, all the gold, all the diamonds, all the Lamborghinis, all the Gucci, Prada, Da Vinci, all these designer clothing, so they can sell them here in America. Because here in America, these Americans, these Babylonians, they eat that stuff up. They buy it up, and that's why these merchants, when they stand afar off, that's why in verse 10 it says standing afar off, meaning these merchants, they gonna be keeping their distance from America. They gonna be standing back when they see her being tormented with fire, meaning when they see her be destroyed. And that's why it says the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, because these salesmen in these foreign countries, they're gonna be standing, standing at a distance, like, damn, she burned it. They're gonna be weeping and mourning, because the reason they got rich is mainly because of America, because America is the largest importer of foreign goods and the largest consumer of goods in the world, probably. But that's why it says the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, weep and mourn over Lady Liberty, who is America, for no man buyeth of their merchandise anymore. So the merchants who got rich off America, they're rich because of America. When this place get destroyed, they're gonna be crying out and complaining because nobody buy it for their merchandise anymore. So America is the one who bought up all the Lamborghinis, all the all the toys that get made in Taiwan, all the stuff that get made in China, um, all the stuff that we have here in America. Part of it, if not the whole thing, comes from another country. So these foreign salesmen, they're gonna be in great distress when they see this place destroyed. But how are they gonna see this place destroyed? We got a little clue in verse 10. It says standing afar off. But we're gonna jump down to Revelation 18 to 15. The merchants of these things, these foreign goods, these salesmen in these foreign countries, which were made rich by her, rich by Lady Liberty, which is America, shall stand afar off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. So these foreign salesmen, they're gonna stand afar off, weeping and wailing, for the fear of her torment. Because when you see this whole landmass of America being destroyed all at once with such great destruction, that's gonna cause everybody to be in fear. And what's gonna happen? The Lord using this place, America, as an example. Like, I'm gonna give the whole world an example of what I do to a wicked country. And America is gonna be that flaming hot example. It's like you a parent, you got kids, you got a kid that's just causing hell, and you whoop him and punish him in front of all the other kids to use that kid as an example. That's what America gonna do to America. That's what the Most High gonna do to America. So I'm gonna start at 15 again. Then we're gonna continue through the next verse. The mercies of these things which were made by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. So America is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. And I'm a hold here because the next part of this verse answers what we've been talking about. How we say how these other countries, how these merchants, these foreign salesmen, how they're gonna see America being destroyed. We're gonna get that in a second. And this what these countries gonna see over here. This whole place of America being destroyed. And it's gonna be destroyed in 1 hour. So imagine just thousands or hundreds of thousands of millions of square miles. The whole place is being destroyed. Imagine being on an airplane or being in a space shuttle going to the moon, and you look down, you see the entire United States and Canada just being completely wiped out all at the same time. That's not something we can even imagine. Now I'm gonna read Revelation 18 and 17 again. I'm gonna read it all the way through. For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught. So all this money people chasing, stacks of money, gold, diamonds, these Lamborghinis, these Jordans, all this stuff we chasing, this materialistic wealth, paper money, all this stuff gonna be burnt up in 1 hour. It's gonna be completely melted. Let's continue. And every shipmaster, and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. Now let's go back up. After we read Revelation 18 and 15 again, it says, the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off. How are they standing afar off? Because every shipmaster and all the company and ships and the sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So everybody that see America being destroyed, they're gonna be off the coast of America, seeing America being destroyed. We know along the coast, the east, the west coast, and I think the southern coast, there's different ports where um, for cargo ships where they come and dock and bring these goods from these foreign countries. So they're gonna be the ones that's standing off the coast of America, seeing America get destroyed. And I know right now, if y'all, for those who've been keeping an eye out in the news, a lot of these cargo ships, a lot of these merchant ships, a lot of them been stuck at sea. They either been getting blocked by other ships, or they've been having trouble get here. But pretty much, they've been stuck at sea for like months at a time. So that's the Lord putting them in place for this scripture here. Because the same ships that's out there now, stuck at sea, they're gonna be the same ships, they're gonna be the same people on those cargo ships that see America get destroyed. So that's why it says every shipmaster and all the company in ships. So everybody on these ships, all the sailors, all the people that's out there fishing to bring that food back to America. Everybody gonna see America get destroyed in 1 hour. It's gonna be so much fire and smoke, like we can't even imagine. The scriptures tell you there's gonna be so much smoke that it's gonna make the sun go black. And it says, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So that's not just reserved for the people that's physically traveling across the water. That also includes the people who are traveling by air. Because when it says as many as trade by sea, because those who fly in the airplanes, they trade by sea too, because they got to cross the sea, they got to cross the Atlantic. So they got cargo planes, where the planes they fly goods here from these other countries. So the ships, the sailors, the shipmasters, those that's physically in the water, and all the pilots and the people that's flying these airplanes across the Atlantic Ocean, or just flying planes in general, they're gonna all be able to look in the same direction and see America being destroyed. And cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Saying what country was like America? We know this translates to America because in today's time and age, what country is like America? Where anybody could come here and do whatever they want in life. You could come here and be a zookeeper. You could come here and be a trainee. You could come here and, and live out your wildest dreams. Ain't nothing like this place. And then our money, then a dollar is one of the strongest form of currencies in the world. So people could come here and make more money than they ever made before. You could come sell your soul, be a rapper, be a porn star, be an NBA player, anything you imagine you could do here. But it usually goes back to wickedness. So usually to get rich here, to live out your wildest dreams, you pretty much gonna be selling your soul to do that. So that's what it means when it says what is like unto this great city. Because everybody that's on the ship, everybody that's on the plane, everybody that's off the coast of America, that's on the dock, they're gonna see America being completely wiped out, and they're gonna cry when they see the smoke of her being burnt and destroyed, saying what is like unto this great country. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, America the Great, wherein were made rich. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You got a minute?
What's up? I got a minute.
All right. So, down. All right. So, trying to get our people to come back to the Bible.
Trying to get them next to the Bible.
Come back to it.
Hmm? You saying God goes over here? You mean he comes back? But I believe about it very much so, and I know he's coming back. I do believe that. Okay? I'll take this up. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
The 12 tribes are the Lord's chosen. I believe in my understood America. Excuse me, y'all. I know I'm all over the place today. I usually catch a little more action up here. Now I'm gonna read this last verse again. Before we I'm gonna read a few more verses of Revelation 18 before we move on. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Revelation 18 and 19. Revelation 18 and 19. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. Because America is a costly place. That's why it says, wherein were made rich all the ships in the sea by reason of her. So the reason all these ships are at sea is, is because of America. It's not because of South America. It's not because of Canada. It's not because of Africa. All these ships are in the sea because of America, by the reason of her costliness. Because America is a costly place if you choose to live here and follow the ways of America. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. In 1 hour she is completely wiped out, completely destroyed. So the idea of an eternal fire that's going to burn on the earth forever, and that's going to burn on the ground forever, that's almost the complete opposite of what the scriptures say. Because here it says in 1 hour she's made desolate. In 1 hour they're going to cry out when they see the smoke of her burning. So she's only going to be burning for 1 hour. And this great fire has a target, which is America and that fake Israel over there, because they partners in crime. So the whole world is not going to be on fire. Revelation 18:20, rejoice over her. So the Lord is telling his chosen, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when this place is destroyed, rejoice over her. Rejoice over her, thou heaven. We are the heavens. That's why Yahawadah said, the kingdom of heaven is in you. So rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. That's the man of the Lord. So we are to rejoice over this place when it's destroyed. For Yahweh hath avenged you on her. So in the scriptures, when it says that vengeance is the Lord, can't nobody tell you what that vengeance is. What is his vengeance? His vengeance is to destroy America for what they did to his chosen people and for what they're trying to do in the earth. So rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her. So Yahweh hath avenged the Negroes on America. Yahweh hath avenged the Native Americans on America. Yahweh is going to avenge the so-called Hispanics on America. He's going to avenge his prophets on America. The Lord has it out for America. That is his vengeance. And the Lord been waiting on his vengeance for thousands of years. And while we're there, I'm gonna jump to a scripture real quick. So we're gonna jump to Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63:4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart. So I thought the Lord was all peace and cuddly and sweet and coming back that everybody could be happy. But the Lord said the day of vengeance in his heart. And the year of my redeemed is come. And this is the year of his redeemed. His redeemed is the elect, the 1/3, who's going to receive mercy and salvation. And we hope to be part of that elect. So here it says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart. That's why here it says, rejoice thou heaven. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh hath avenged you on her. So the Lord is going to get vengeance for us. All right, Revelation 18:24. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So America has a great body count. So it says, in her, in Lady Liberty, was found the blood of all that were slain upon the earth, the blood of the prophets and of the saints. So America, which goes back to the Edomites, the white people, is them who have slain all in the earth, and the apostles and the prophets, um, starting back with Cain. Now we learned in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that America alone is going to be burnt by fire. The ground is now opening up. The whole earth is not going to catch on fire. But great Babylon, that Lady Liberty, she's going to be the only one targeted by this great fire. And she's going to be destroyed for 1 hour. She's going to be burning for 1 hour. And everybody off the shores of America and everybody that trade with America by sea and by airplane, they're going to see her being destroyed. And they're going to cry out because they don't have anybody to buy their merchandise anymore. That's what Revelation 18th chapter about. So this great fire is going to come all of a sudden. It's going to come in 1 hour, and that's nuclear destruction. Now we're going to jump around through a few different books showing that this fire is indeed nuclear destruction. So now I think we're going to jump through. We're going to go to Malachi chapter 4. We're going to go to Zephaniah, I think 18. So let me pull up a few different scriptures real quick. What is going on here? So when we go to Malachi chapter 4, verse 1, it says, "For behold, the day, one day cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. That it shall leave them neither root, that shall leave them neither root nor branch." So the Lord said, behold, one day is coming, and that one day is going to burn like an oven. Not in eternity that's going to burn like an oven, not a long time that's going to burn like an oven, but the one day that's coming is going to burn like an oven. And we know that one day is going to take, that burning is going to take place for 1 hour. And all the proud. Who is the proud? You heard the song, "I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free." Then who else? What's that KKK group? The Proud Boys. Everybody, the American is the proudest people on the earth. So all the proud, all of America, all that do wickedly. We know America is the most wickedest place on the earth. Shall be stubble, and the day cometh that shall burn them up. So the day is coming that's going to burn them up. Not an eternity or a long time is coming that's going to burn them up. Just one specific day. Now if we jump to Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 18. "Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land." See this matching up with Revelation 18, way too good. Now I'm about to have to jump back there. So Zephaniah 1 and 18 again. Neither the silver nor the gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So your riches is not going to save you. That's why if you go back to Revelation 18 and 17, 4 and 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So in 1 hour, such great riches came to nothing. They was reduced to dust. And the second part of Zephaniah 1 and 18. But the whole land shall be devoured by fire. We're going to go back to Revelation 18 again. I'm going to read this again. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. It says the whole land, not the whole world, not the whole earth opening up, not the whole earth being on fire, but it says the whole land should be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. That's why Revelation 18 and 10 says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city. In 1 hour is thy judgment come. So, Great Babylon or America is that mighty city, is the whole land, is that whole land that's going to be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. And if we go to the last part of Zephaniah 1 and 18, it says, For he shall make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land, that's not dwell in the earth, of all them that dwell on the land of America. That's why Malachi 1 and 4 says, all them that do proud, yeah, all them that do wickedly shall be burnt up. And Zephaniah 1 and 18, it says, For he shall make a speedy riddance of them that dwell in the land. So a speedy riddance, that's meaning you're gonna quickly get rid of something that's an annoyance. So the Edomites, they actually annoy the Lord. So a speedy riddance is to quickly get rid of something, or to rid of something quickly. That's why the first part of that word riddance is rid, to get rid of something. Now if we go back to Revelation 18, I think the 8th verse, when it says, Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahawadah who judgeth her, because she's going to receive all these different plagues. But the ultimate plague is the plague of fire. That's why it says, after all these plagues, she shall be utterly burned with fire. Now let's get that in the book, I think Zechariah, the 14th chapter. So we read so far, the Lord's going to devour the whole land. He's going to devour the whole land quickly by fire. How can you devour a whole country quickly by fire? It's nuclear destruction. It's not a forest fire. It's not a volcano. It's not an asteroid. It's nothing else. So we have Zechariah 14, verse 11, to get that ultimate plague. We're going to read Revelation 18 and 8 again. So, dang, that's not right. Okay. This is way off. Revelation 18 and 8. Therefore shall our plagues come in one day. So the plagues are death. Second plague is mourning. Second plague is famine. And the final plague is fire. Zechariah 14 and 13. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague. This is the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people, mainly the Edomites, the so-called white people, that have fought against Jerusalem. Jerusalem pretty much be the children of Israel. So those who fought against Jerusalem, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So these people, they're going to be burnt to a crisp. They're going to be disintegrated on their feet before their body can even hit the ground. So if y'all seen that scene Terminator, when Sarah Connor was on the fence and she was burnt to a crisp while she was standing against the fence, that was a simulation of a nuclear explosion. So a forest fire can't burn you this fast, because in a forest fire, you're going to drop to the ground and you're going to be burning while you laying dead on the ground. A volcano is going to melt you away slowly. But in a nuclear explosion, in nuclear destruction, that could turn you to ash while you stand upon your feet. Meaning it'll turn you to ash in a fraction of a second. So we're going to read this again. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Let's continue. And it shall come to pass in that day, a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them. A tumult is a great noise, and that great noise is going to be a great panic among the people. The day that all these people get burnt up, and right before they get burnt up, it's going to be a panic. But why is there going to be a great panic? Because the siren, those nuclear sirens, is going to be going off all over the country, all on the TV. Your favorite TV show is going to be stopped, because it's going to be that eerie siren going off. It's going to be saying, warning, this is not a test. Nuclear missiles has been fired at America at these cities. And the list of the cities is going to keep going up and up. So this great tumult is the great panic. That's proof that this is a great panic. And they shall lay hold, every one, on the hand of his neighbor. So they're going to lay hold, every one, the hand of his neighbor. So when it says everyone shall lay hold, one on the hand of his neighbor, meaning everybody's going to be outside in a circle holding hands. It's like fate finally caught up with you. There's nothing else you can do about it. So everybody, let's just hold hands. That's usually what people do when they about to die in great number. They all hold hands. And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. These Edomites crazy. So when it says his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor, everybody's gonna lock hands like this. Somebody else gonna put up their hand, and somebody else gonna put up their hand, and they gonna do that. And some people gonna be holding hands like this. Pretty much, everybody gonna pretty much know their fate, and everybody gonna brace for impact. Everybody gonna be cherishing those last final moments before this place is wiped out. And that's going to be mainly the so-called Edomite. That's going to be mainly the so-called white people. The Edomites is going to be the 2/3 of our people that don't return back to Yahawadah and Yahweh's side. And it's going to be all the other nations that's in this land of America that don't get killed off in the purge. So everybody left standing is going to be the ones who get destroyed with America. Mainly the ones who took that needle in the arm or who get that microchip in the hand, and the rich elites. What up, bro? Out of here. But that's all we're gonna do for today. I'm gonna close out here. It's getting kind of dark. And when I approach people, once it get dark out, they start looking at me weird. Like, it's dark, why you approaching me? But today we learned that America is the only place that's gonna be burnt up by a fire. It is gonna happen quickly. But also the land of Israel, not the whole world. The ground is not gonna open up and people gonna be through underground. That's not in the scriptures. And we just went through a few scriptures showing that nuclear destruction is in the scriptures. So this place is supposed to get destroyed in the next world war. But we're gonna close out. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawadah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Shalom.